our next guest from shows like Thank You, Craig, singled out and tack of the show. These days we can see him as the host of G4's Web Soup. Please welcome back to the show the very talented Chris Hardwick.
I thought I was going to be the one. Hey, everybody.
Yay, Chris.
Hey, Bonnie.
Good to see you, honey.
I didn't destroy my body coming down your pole, and that sounded weird.
I've never been so flattered, Mr. Hardwick.
You got a great pole, I'm just going to say. It's a nice pole.
Well, a girl's got to have something going for her. You're very funny. You did stand-up for a long time. You're a great stand-up comic.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I still do. I still travel and try to make strangers like me in weird rooms, which is a weird thing to do.
It is a different kind of way to make a living.
Yeah.
And there's a really lonely aspect to it, isn't there? I mean, you're just going from town to town, sleeping around, forgetting phone numbers.
Yeah, just blazing a sex trail across America.
Hey, maybe you could be the next Bachelor.
Maybe I don't know if my girlfriend would be too cool with that.
Oh, you're in a relationship. I'm
in a relationship. But I do make her scream every time I come in the room. Ah!
Oh, the same thing.
But she does it sarcastically. Oh, there's Janet.
Look at how nice you look, Chris.
It's a nice couple. Look at those two faces.
Yeah, that's
adorable.
That's a sweet couple.
Yes.
Did you, when you were growing up though, and you didn't say to your folks, I want to be a stand-up comic?
I did. Yeah, I was one of those annoying kids who would just start performing for my parents' friends. They're like, hey, but it wasn't my material. I was doing Steve Martin's material.
Oh, yeah, I did those things.
You did those? Yeah. I had all of his albums, and it was the only time my parents would let me say dirty things, because Steve's not a dirty comic, but he has a couple swears in some of his albums.
Right.
So as a kid, I got to, that was kind of naughty, and so it was fun. I would just perform endlessly.
And did you ever get to meet Steve? I mean, in your adventures in the business?
Yeah, I met Steve once. It wasn't. Here's the thing, and you've been in the business. When you idolize people, I mean, Steve Martin is the backbone of a lot of comedians today. Like he's the reason that a lot of us do comedy.
Right.
And so, when I met him, I tried to compose myself. You want to be cool. You want to say something interesting.
Right.
Because you want to be like, oh, Steve and we're going to get on like gangbusters. We're going to be hanging out on a yacht somewhere afterwards and feeding each other grapes. It's going to be awesome. And so when you run up, what comes out of your mouth is, your comedy is enjoyable to my eyes. And you're like, oh. And so it just didn't, That's
a nice compliment.
It is. You funny. You can't talk right.
I know. I've had that same experience when I've met certain people. You just go.
And he's very shy, apparently. And so he just kind of instantly was like, oh, thank you very much. And then that was it. And I was like, well, bye. And then.
Did you ever see him again?
No. And I was afraid he thought I was crazy. And as a matter of fact, I just to prove to Steve that I'm not crazy. And I'm a nice guy. I brought this picture of myself hugging a dolphin.
That's the proof?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be very relieved now.
Well, this is a nice person that would hug a dolphin.
Who
what crazy person would do that?
No.
And look so happy about it?
When you were growing up, your dad was an athlete, a professional bowler.
It's nice that you refer to that as being an athlete, yes.
Well, it is an athlete. That is an athlete.
He is an athlete, yes.
I mean, if you ever tried bowling...
I have, yeah. Bowling's fun.
I love it.
It's amazing. And my dad owns a bowling center now in Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah, I know.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me behind a big bowling ball.
Oh, no. That's so cute. They had to use a bowling ball to cover it.
You could show that to Steve. Well, I know. That is, I mean, you don't normally see that kind of girth for a white guy. That's pretty astounding. But, that's just another thing to add to the list of pictures you can show Steve to be like, look, he's not crazy.
Decent guy. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk more to Chris, and we'll talk about his show and show you some clips, too.
Thank you.
Really funny clips. We're back with Chris Hardwick, the son of an athlete, and you're this new show, Web Soup.
Yes.
Well, it's not new.
It's newish. It's newish. if you watch the show and you're like, this is a ripoff of the soup. Yes, it is a total ripoff.
Oh, of chalk soup.
Yeah, of the soup. Of the soup.
Yeah, it's called the soup.
It's an authorized ripoff. So we weren't just like, hey, that show looks cool. Let's make it. Like they said we could.
No, you work with the same team too, with some of the same guys.
And they're awesome. And Joel McHale is beyond hilarious.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the best.
Really, we've had him on the show. Really fun.
He's amazing. He'll insult you to your face, and you're like, you're the funniest person I've ever met in my life. And he'll go, I don't really care for you, and you're like, stop it. Like he's amazing. He's amazing.
Well, it's nice that you respect his work and everything. We were just talking about that,
I also want to point out he could have me fired. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, too.
Send him that dolphin photo.
I'm hugging, yes. Mm-hmm. Not so much on the bowling ball photo.
Oh,
No,
he'll just be insanely jealous.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should never send your coworkers naked pictures of yourself behind a bowling ball. That's weird.
That was my Christmas card last year, oddly enough. So what's this first clip that we're going to see? Because your clips are real, they're authentic.
Yeah, it's stuff we take off the web. It's just like the soup, but instead of reality shows and celebrity culture, we're kind of making fun of anything we can find on the web, which is a fertile ground of insanity. Yeah. And so what I'm going to show you is what we put at the end of the show. It's called a palate cleanser. So I think this first thing is an adorable cat.
And the cat's really making the sound.
This cat is really making the sound. Yes.
This next one is one of my favorites.
This is the ultimate palate cleanser. You can't. If you were to watch that and not be emotionally moved in some way, you're dead inside and your heart is made of spiders. Like, there's no way you can watch that.
I know, it's so true. Her little Peter Pan collar.
And the little
taking care of her that dog.
Squeeze him.
I know.
Adorable.
Well, Chris, thanks so much for spending time with us.
I love you to death. It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys can see Chris on Web Soup Tuesday nights on G4.